Welcome in, everybody. We're back with another episode of Steehn versus Machine, week 14. Of course, I'm your, host, Truman Steehn. Of course, I'm always joined by the very handsome, probably has a very handsome son, Scott Steehn, the lead handicapper over there at Winners and Winers. Scott, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Truman?
Good. I don't know. Do I have a right hunch? Do you have a handsome son somewhere?
That's what I've heard. I know the ladies certainly like him a lot. So,
Dang, it'd be nice to meet him someday.
be careful, Truman. You know who one of your 10 viewers is going to be here. So,
yeah, I didn't know I had another brother. That's very interesting.
No, you actually have a very lovely girlfriend. So.
Yes, no, she's very nice.
Calm down, ladies. He's taken, and so is Truman.
How's your week been, Scott?
It's been good. It's been good. We've been making some money for our clients, winning some games. Went 2-0 last night. So
awesome.
Everything is coming up roses, my friend. And yourself? How's your week?
Oh, it's been good. You know, we're rocking over here on Steehn versus on Twitch.tv/SteehnMiss. We've been rocking with we've been doing the 12 days of SteehnMiss. That started actually. We were the kickoff last Friday. I didn't know. I forgot to mention that to you, but I don't know if I mentioned that directly to you. I certainly didn't mention it on the show, but we were the kickoff of the 12 days of SteehnMiss. We're on day 7, so today we're doing we're doing Steehn versus Machine, obviously, and then we'll do Friendly Fridays where we play group games and stuff like that. We have a lot of fun, have some drinks, have some fun times with all the buddies, and then Saturday tomorrow we'll do the Steehn Machine Open Challenge, and Sunday I've got a bunch of stuff planned for Sunday. We're gonna do a barbecue stream and. Similar to last Sunday, I did basically a betting red zone where you could follow along with me all day. I updated kind of live odds, told you what I was placing my money on. I think it was like $12 or so on stream, which isn't a big deal, but we were positive money on stream. I can't complain.
No,
placing live bets all over the place. I hit on the randomest things. I hit on the Minnesota Jacksonville game. I had the right amount of touchdowns. It was 6, and I bet on that and hit it. We did a lot of fun props, a lot of live stuff. It was great, So I'd recommend everybody tune in. It's a great little Sunday. We do the kickoff show where we tell you about what to do for your fantasy teams, who's in, who's out, what I'm doing with my fantasy teams, and then I place my bets. I do the thing called the noon parlay. If you miss the noon parlay, I put it up on my Twitter, CG Sports RWTN. I think that's enough plugging for me. I know you guys. I've seen you guys putting out a bunch of great stuff over there on Winners and Winers throughout the week, and yeah, it looks like you guys have had a great week over there.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers. We need about 200 more to get to 10,000. So,
yeah,
we're pretty excited about that. We're about to pass 4 million total views. So again, it's just our little space over there. I know those numbers in the realm of real YouTubers, those don't really mean anything. It's not like we're a Justin Bieber video or anything, but yeah, we're pretty proud of the work we do over there, and we work our best to give good content and good picks to everybody.
Nothing to laugh at over there. I'm closing in very quickly on 10 subscribers. We're coming up right on it. So we've been at 8 for a bit, but we're looking. You're 200 away. I'm 2 away. We'll see who gets there first. It'll be interesting.
It starts slow, man. It helps that I have a website where they link to my broadcast where we get 15,000-20,000 hits a day. So
yeah. No, and it's a great website over there on winnersandwiners.com.
That it is.
And you had a great week last week, so let's get into it, huh?
All right, let's do it.
A great week is relative, but
comparatively speaking to how I done the other 2 weeks, yeah, it was a great week. I'll take it.
Hey, those aren't your picks from last week. Oh gosh, all right. Let me double check this here real quick. For some reason we don't have your. I must have deleted them at some point. That's not great. But
let's not revisit that week.
No, let's not revisit your 4-1 week. That's not very fair. Let's talk about your 4 weeks. I'll just ask everybody to kind of ignore what your slide says here. I'll give you guys the picks that he had because there were some great ones. You had the Bears -3 at -120. That one was a tough heartbreaker there. They lost.
That was a brutal beat. Yeah, we went 3-2, and if we're betting on anybody with the Bears, probably should have been 4-1. Yeah, they not only it went from a game where we're like, all right, we're going to cover easily. We're going to cover. This would be no problem to, you know what, I guess we'll take the push. I don't love it, but we'll take that. We'll take the push, and then holy shit, we're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose that game outright.
They're passing there at the end. They haven't been able to protect Trubisky all day. He turned the ball over at least twice, I think 3 times. Just awful job there by Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky. Hard to imagine either of them surviving in Chicago past this season.
I don't know who's going to coach, be the general manager, play quarterback for the Bears. I have no idea, just none.
No NFL insider info yet.
No, my Bears insider hasn't turned me on to that information. But
no.
There's going to be. You think they're going to be fumigating the White House? I think they're going to be fumigating Soldier Field over there too after the season's over. So
I could imagine that. So you had the Bears -3, -120. You hit on that, of course. You had the Colts -3 at -115.
I did not hit on the Bears.
No, sorry, you did not hit on the Bears.
Right.
You had the Colts -3 at -115. They beat Houston 26-20. That was great.
I tried to give it away at the end, but couldn't quite succeed.
Las Vegas, New York Jets. You had the over 46.5. Woo, wow, and what a game that was. It was never close. I mean, you hit the over by a fair amount. It was 31-28. But wow, what an exciting game against kind of a game where you're just shaking your head the whole time, where it's like, we thought these guys were contenders at some point, and then they walk it off essentially with that as the Jets play cover 0.
Playing cover 0 with man on the outside. It just...
with a man who runs a 4.6 against like the fastest receiver in the NFL last year, or the fastest NFL rookie that was in the draft last year. Just a bonkers decision there by Greg Williams, and he got him fired. Yeah. Somehow Adam Gase still has a job, but Greg Williams made one mistake, and it's got him fired.
Well, it really just bought him 4 more games.
Yeah.
I don't think he survives either.
Oh, no. I couldn't imagine. You had the Saints -2.5 over Atlanta. That cashed.
Yep.
And then you rode with me, and we even laughed about it, knowing that we shouldn't have done it, but we both took the Chargers pick'em against New England last week. But, a close game, a heartbreaker there.
Yeah.
The Chargers there just couldn't get it done in the end. They fall 45-0 against the New England Patriots. Oh, wow, that game.
Talk about another game that was over early.
But, that takes you were 3-2, plus 70. See, I got your previous week record in. I got your season record in there. I'm not sure what happened there on the crossing up of putting in the last week's picks. I think I copied and pasted, but I guess I forgot to paste.
That was a good week not to be using PointsBet, because PointsBet has a thing where you get paid extra money for every point you win your bet by, or you lose money based on every point you lose your bet by.
Right.
So in other words, we had what did we have there? The Charger. It was pick'em.
Yeah.
So if you make a $10 bet and it's PointsBet, now you owe $450. So that would have been an ugly loss indeed. So, luckily it just counts as one loss for us.
Man,
so
I don't know where it all went wrong for us. Packers, for my picks, I had the Packers -8.5 against Philadelphia. That cashed. I had the Chiefs -13.5 against Denver at home, or Denver in Kansas City. They struggled against the Denver team, only winning 22-16. Just an ugly game. I double lost on this game because I was like, well, I might as well get my money back because I was hoping to have a positive week. And I was like, well, I'll get my money back on this Chiefs game. I bet the Chiefs -6.5. And, of course, they win 22-16 because they kicked 5 field goals that game. The Chiefs' red zone offense is having major problems, but they'll figure that out down the stretch here. But I have faith in Andy Reid. Cardinals money line +125. They lose by 10 to the Rams. Saints, I also had the Saints -2.5. They got it done against Atlanta. And I also had the Chargers pick them. Man. What a great pick from us. I had so I went 2-3 this week. I had -120 because I won the 200 on the other ones, and the other ones were both there was 2 at -110, and then I bet that money line at +100. So I only lost 100 on that one. So I was -320 plus 200 takes you to -120. I was 2-3. So that puts you back ahead. I moved ahead of you, and then this week you net plus 190'd me because I was -120. You're plus 70. That's plus 190 for your overall season record versus mine. So now you've moved ahead by 139 on the season. But,
hope you enjoyed your brief time in the sun. So.
All right. Well, as we've learned, obviously it's a good time to be gloating.
Yeah, I got it from here on out. I can't lose.
Can't lose. Yeah.
Nothing bad could possibly happen the last month of the season.
Yeah, that brings your win-loss for the season on this show to 34, 32, and 1. You're at minus 131. I'm net. I'm 31, 34, and 2 at negative 270. So again, not having terrible, but we're doing all right. We're hoping to close in here. We are both trends guys and analytics guys, and the further you get in the season, the better it gets.
Yes, that's what I keep telling myself.
Yes, of course.
Hopefully, the stated purpose of this show is to show people how difficult it is to bet on football.
Yeah.
No easy money.
Hockey, that's my sport. Get ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get ready for that pick'em show where it's just me doing it.
We're all ready for that one, bud.
All right, so let's move in, not to dilly-dally, let's move into this week's picks. For once on this show, I've got to walk. Losers walk. I'll go first. It's been a bit. It's been a while.
Sure you remember how to do it.
All right. For my first pick of the week, I've got the 49ers -3 against 115 against the Washington football team. They're in San Francisco. Well, sorry, they're not in San Francisco. They're in Arizona because of Santa Clara's laws pushing them out because they're banning contact sports in that county. But I expect this is one of those things where we just watched the Washington football team and the New York Giants knock off two contenders, honestly. I mean, Washington just knocked off Pittsburgh. The New York Giants knocked off Seattle. Both are considered Super Bowl contenders, I believe. Or at least, conference championship contenders. And I think we're overvaluing them a bit as they knocked off a few overrated teams and caught them at weird times. Pittsburgh had all that weird stuff going on with COVID and their game delays, and
very short week.
Seattle just can't figure out their offense or their defense right now. It's very bad. And their offense, and Russell Wilson's been on a tailspin since I think it was like week 9 when he was pretty much a lock for the MVP, and then he's had 12 turnovers I think since week 8 or week 9. It's
not good. Yeah, I like that pick, Truman. I think this is a situation where we sell high on Washington. I think there's a lot of recency bias with that game they played against Pittsburgh. You know what? They're a decent football team, like the Giants are, but I think the Niners recover here, and I don't hate that pick.
Yeah. So that bring us to your first pick of the week. You've got
Packers -8.5. Yeah, this is this is a Packers team that's just rolling right now. That's all I can say about it. The Lions, they jumped up and bit us last week, not only costing us the cover but also winning outright. I don't care. This is a team where Matt Stafford still has a thumb problem. It looks like they're going to be without DeAndre Swift, and I think this Packers team is really starting to peak at the right time. I like what they've done, and I think they take care of business again here. Give me the Pack. And actually, it's interesting. There's money been coming in on Detroit, so I hope it continues because it was 9. We actually did a show on about an hour and a half ago, and it was 8. It was 9. It's now down to 8.5. So all you can eat. I'll take them. In real life, we're locking it in here. We're locking it at 8.5. In real life, I'm going to be watching that line like a hawk and taking every piece of value I can get.
But 8.5 at plus 110. It's a great line for a. Yeah. That's a great odds for a line. Very odd to catch any line at a plus number, especially all the way at plus 110. So.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
Love it for you. I've got, and this has been an interesting line that we've been looking for all day. It's kind of been off the board. There's a lot of uncertainty with Christian McCaffrey, but here's the thing about this Denver team. They're just not very good. So I have Panthers -3, -110. I really don't care whether or not Christian McCaffrey plays, especially, and all signs are looking more towards doubtful.
Right.
But I don't think it'll make enough of a difference one way or the other. I don't think Denver Broncos are good enough to hang with the Carolina Panthers, plain and simple. And even with or without McCaffrey. And if it was with McCaffrey, they'd be blowing the Denver Broncos out of the water. So this has been a tough line to find all day because of the uncertainty surrounding Christian McCaffrey. But if Christian McCaffrey does not play, I expect this line to settle in at -1.3, -3.5, or -3, -3.5, somewhere in there.
We talked on our other show earlier. A good question. I'll put it to you. Why would you even play McCaffrey at all this season? They just signed him to a big multi-year deal. Carolina's 4-8. They're almost certainly not going to make the playoffs.
Right, 2 spots out of the
So,
wild card.
I mean, is it just? Is it? My only guess was these teams are playing these guys until they get to 9 losses, and then realize they're probably out of the wild card. But until they get to 9 losses, I think they're treating the season like it's live. I don't agree with pushing McCaffrey to come back. I think you give him 9 months off and let him get well. And you got to take the long view here.
It's something we talk about every year, and somebody in my chat just pointed out again, is that usage rate among running backs. When you use them that much, they tend to break down. I think I saw something at the beginning of the season that Christian McCaffrey had been used. It was like 97, 98, and 99% of the snaps his first 3 years that he's been in Carolina.
Well, and there's a magic number about getting 400 carries as a running back as well.
Exactly. So Christian McCaffrey breaks down, and then we always act shocked when we draft this guy first overall because he was a great running back, and then he breaks down, and then we're like, how did this happen? And every year we go, well, he had over 400 carries. How did we not see this happening? And of course, here we are.
Yeah, we come to find out that little 5'10" guys running through the trees, taking shots on every play, not good for your health.
No,
not good.
No, not even to mention the long-term health. But that's why we're not here to talk the long-term. We're here to talk this week.
Yeah, I don't hate that play. I wanted to stay away from that. This Denver team, the defense started to play a little bit better. I just have no faith in Drew Lock. But yeah, I wish you luck. I'd probably lean that way, but I don't have the feel for it that your machine does.
Alrighty, moving on to your second pick of the week.
Yeah, this is a situation where they're basically going to be without a lot of tools at the running back position. Mixon's going to be out for Cincinnati. It is slightly troubled that T. Higgins is questionable for this game. I would like to see a kind of an injury report on him going forward. Same with Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott is banged up, and they really haven't been utilizing Zeke much to start with. This is an Andy Dalton revenge game, and at the end of the day, this is two pretty bad defenses that are going at it here. I think 43 is too low. They probably don't get to the 60s, but 27-21, something in that neighborhood wouldn't surprise me a bit. I like the Dallas-Cincinnati over 43.
Yeah, I've noticed something the past few weeks. You've been able to point out these games where it's just two bad teams, and the lines get set at these ridiculously low totals. And a lot of the time they do succeed them because it is the NFL, and NFL teams are going to score on each other if they get bad enough defenses. And it's a weird phenomenon. Las Vegas, New York Jets last week, for example. 46 is 10 points lower than a Kansas City Chiefs line would get at the total because but at the same time those two defenses were both terrible. I don't know why we were setting the line so low, and so when we go and look at not expecting NFL teams to score 21 each,
right?
It just feels kind of ludicrous.
As we found, bad offenses trump bad defenses.
Exactly. So yeah, I like it. Dallas Cincinnati over 43. I got that at -105 for you. And again, I use BetOnline for most everything when we're setting these lines. If it's not on there for some reason, I then default to MyBookie. If it's not on MyBookie, then I go to Scores and Odds. So just for anybody that's ever wondering where we get these odds from.
Yeah, I do like to be consistent. I mean, I could use Don Best and absolutely find the best line every time to give out on the show.
Right.
But in real life, that's not something everybody has access to.
No.
So I try to pick the most accessible book, one of the most popular books for offshore books for use in America.
Right.
And that's why I tend to use BetOnline for the show.
Right, because not everybody lives in Vegas or
right.
New York or New Jersey or Illinois. It's just
yeah.
So yeah, I get it. For my third pick, I had the Saints at -7, and that line is at -120, which is a fun thing. So I fill out my spreadsheet on. I normally try to do it 2 days after the last game. So that way I know that all the stats on Pro Football Focus are going to be updated. They have a nice little Excel spreadsheet thing I can export and use. Beside the point. But when I saw this, when I first put in my spreadsheet, it gave me Saints -6, or the line was at 6, and I had Saints -10 or whatever. and I loved it. And I was like, that line is going to change or move. So I actually got that Saints line at -6 or -6.5. I think it was yesterday, and that line has already moved to -7, and it's at -120. So it's looking to move to 7.5. So if you're watching this before Sunday, you might be willing to take a shot there. If it's moved to 7.5, might hold off, see if it comes back down to 7. But again, I have the Saints.
Yeah, you'll sometimes get some buyback at 7.5, so that's not a bad strategy at all.
Right. So I've got the Saints -7 at -120 against. They're playing at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is an Eagles team that's been not good, and they've actually even just made a quarterback change. It'll be interesting to see what Jalen Hurts can do. But at the end of the day, this offensive line for the Eagles is just too bad for, I think, any quarterback to succeed. They've lost 4 in a row against the spread. 3 out of their last 4 against the spread, and I just expect that trend to continue. It's been a hell of a time for the Eagles this year, and I expect the Saints to continue rolling. They haven't been quite what they are with Drew Brees, with Taysom Hill, but they've been good enough against bad teams. So I expect them to be able to take care of business here against these Philadelphia Eagles, and I like the Saints at -7, -120.
Yeah, Saints playing a really good defense right now. Maybe the best defense in the NFC. Of course, the Rams obviously have something to say about that, but certainly one of the top 2 defenses in the NFC. Maybe in the league, because they tend to not play a ton of defense there in the AFC for whatever reason. I'll tell you what I do like, Truman. I don't mind your pick. I like the Saints on a teaser with the Titans. Titans are 7.5. You can tease both of those down. Tease the Titans to 1.5. Tease the Saints to 1.
Ooh, wow.
I like that play quite a bit. That's -120, of course, on a 2-team 6-point teaser.
I don't dislike that either. All right, so let's move on to your third pick of the week, which you've got.
Yeah, it's Cardinals -3 against the Giants. This is another team, much like Washington, using a lot of the same philosophy that you use to take the Niners. This is a sell high spot for me on the Giants. Giants played good football lately. Cardinals have been in an absolute tailspin, but I think that changes. I think the Cardinals, it's time to put up or shut up, and they've got to make the push here. I think there's just too much talent on that team. As long as Murray's not hurt, and I do have a sneaky suspicion that Murray's a little more banged up than he's letting us know. But I like the Cards there against the Giants, laying the 3.
Yeah, this has been a Cardinals team that's had a tough run here. They've lost by 1 score in 2 of their last 3, and 4 of their last 5. Or sorry, 2 of their last 3, 3 of their last 5. Been heartbreakers against the Seahawks and the Patriots. And then they were able to knock off the Bills, but weren't able to knock off the Dolphins. Again, another 3-point loss. It's been a tough run here, but that's kind of the benefit of the spreadsheet, is that it doesn't, is that momentum is something that me and you discuss personally a lot, aside from this.
Right.
And actually, so you had the Cardinals at -3. The reason I'm talking also about this, because I had the Cardinals at -3 for my 4th pick. And is that momentum is something that a team has until it doesn't, and then it doesn't, and then but there's nothing, but there's everybody always talks about momentum and stuff like that. The Giants have absolutely no reason they should be better than the Cardinals. The Cardinals are on paper a much better team, unless Kyler Murray is banged up and is struggling to have problems. But at the end of the day, the New York Giants aren't a great football team, and they're starting Colt McCoy. Or again, I assume, is Daniel Jones back in yet?
He's questionable. He may be back, but I'd say it's 50-50 right now. Keep an eye on the injury report there. I don't think it makes a hell of a difference. Colt McCoy actually looked pretty good last week. He's a competent backup quarterback. At this point in his career, at least, he's probably as good as Daniel Jones, I would think.
Right, and I think this Cardinals team is better than a team starting a backup quarterback. And the spreadsheet doesn't take in narratives. It doesn't take stuff like that. So I like the Cardinals -3 here over the New York Giants, just like you. I'm with you.
All right. Very good.
Moving on to your 4th pick of the week.
Yeah. This is a fade for me of a Minnesota team that they just don't play well, and they certainly don't play well away from the dome. I'm always looking for a reason to fade dome teams on the road. Ideally, ideally it's in cold weather. Of course, that won't be the case in Tampa.
Right.
But this is a game that both of these teams need quite a bit. I think Tampa Bay is better. And here's the problem for Minnesota. They want to run Dalvin Cook. Tampa Bay has the best rushing defense in the NFL. Now they've been a little slippery lately. They haven't been quite as good. Well, they gave up 210 against Carolina. Or excuse me, they gave up um, 138 against New Orleans. That was 3 games ago. But since then, they haven't given up over 87 yards, and that includes 87 to the Chiefs. So this is a Minnesota team that wants to run first, and they're not going to have that option available to them. I do not believe. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Bucks and lay the points there with Tommy Terrific.
Yeah. Not to mention that the Buccaneers are also coming off of a bye week. Minnesota coming off of, I believe it was it was a good win last week where they rallied against the Jacksonville Jaguars late.
Right.
But they've played so many weeks in a row. They've played 4 weeks in a row. Buccaneers get to come off a bye week. I like the I don't hate that pick for you. I like it.
Yeah. Good.
To round us off here, I am taking the Texans -1 against the Chicago Bears team. Again, like we kind of talked about, the Texans. The Chicago Bears are just not very good. Aren't coming
Dead
up.
man walking.
Aren't coming up in clutch moments when they need it. Seem to be having some coaching issues. Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles. What's the difference? They're just kind of a meddling team, and getting Akeem Hicks back has been big for them. It's helped them. Obviously, they had a close game against Detroit there, but they still weren't able to get it done. So Texans at -1 at -120. Again, if this moves to -1.5 or -2, if this moves to -1.5, not a big deal. That's we've talked about it plenty of times. If you're ever taking a team +1.5, you should just take the money line. No, 90% of games or 95% of NFL games don't end within 1 or 2 points. So taking a +1.5 or a +2 is just, you should just take the money line at that point. So if this Texans line moves to -1.5 or -1.5 is less significant than -2, but either way, I still like them there against the Chicago Bears in Chicago to start off the weekend.
I'm with you.
For your fifth and final pick, ooh, a little spicy one on the Sunday night slot?
Yep, it is. These are, and it's kind of weird to say this, but I think these are two teams going in different directions right now. I think Pittsburgh, with that offense, I think they were doing it with mirrors. I really do. The offense hasn't been able to get it done, and the defense was just weak enough last week to take the loss there. Losing Dupree is huge. They're also going to be down starting cornerback, and I think that Buffalo is going to be able to have their way with them. I think Josh Allen throws for a ton, and I think they're able to keep him upright and take this one against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It'd be very interesting. This is only the third game this year where Pittsburgh has been favored. So, and they've been doing a great job against the spread. They're, I believe, 8-4 against the spread this year. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do there against a Buffalo Bills team. I think we're going to learn a lot about these two teams and what their playoff aspirations are going to look like.
Agreed. I think the Chiefs will be watching this one close because if Pittsburgh steps up, dominates the Bills, wins by 10 points or so, then the Chiefs probably won't get the number 1 seed. Pittsburgh was able to right the ship. I don't see it that way. I think this is a team that's tired. They've had their bye early, and they've had to play, and they have had a little extra rest. I don't think it's going to matter. I like the home team here. I think they're going to step up on national TV. And if you want to talk a little fun stuff, if the Bills win this one, they're going to be just a game back of the Steelers for the number 2 spot in the NFL.
Very interesting. There's
and if the Chiefs lose, they'll be 1 game back of them as well. So
very interesting. Yeah, we were talking about it on the podcast that I do, Dom. That's true. We do that on Tuesdays, and the Chiefs have their 2 remaining. They have 2 of their remaining 4 games are against playoff teams, and Pittsburgh has 3 of their remaining 4 are against playoff teams.
Yeah.
So that it will be tough. The Steelers have to face the Bills, Colts, and Browns in these final 4 games, and that is not for the team that's had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. That's a tough final 4 when you had to take your bye week in week 4.
And the Chiefs have New Orleans and obviously Miami, and then Atlanta, right?
Atlanta and I believe LA.
The Chargers.
Yeah, one more time against the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers will be the 4th one.
In Kansas City in December. So
right.
It'll be interesting to see how Herbert responds to that. So, just to recap here, for this week, I have the 49ers -3 at -115 against the Washington football team. I have the Panthers -3 at -110 against the Denver Broncos. The Saints -7, -120 at Philadelphia. The Cardinals -3 at -110 at the New York Giants. And the Texans -1 at -120 at the Chicago Bears. While you have the Packers -8.5 +110 at Detroit. You have the Dallas Cincinnati over 43. The Cardinals -3 -110 at New York Giants. The Bucks -6.5 -115 versus the Minnesota Vikings. And the Bills -1 -125 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That sounds like me. And by the way, the older handicapping axiom is if you look at your sheet and you've got a bunch of favorites and overs, you're probably not doing a very good job. So we'll see. We'll see if that plays out because I've got 4 favorites and an over, and you've got 5 favorites.
Yeah, I believe. I think the spreadsheet pointed out 2 money lines that I'm slightly has. I actually it pointed out thank you. It pointed out the Pittsburgh money line, and then it pointed out the Chargers money line. And man, I don't know if I can bring myself to bet on the Chargers anymore this year.
Who says I'm stabbing him straight in the chest?
That would be my buddy Cole. He's a Minnesota Vikings fan. So, I mean, he's had a roller coaster of a season this year.
Sorry, Cole. I wish they were better. I really do. We'll see if they step up.
All right, Scott, where can we find you at?
I'm right here, Truman.
Oh, there you are.
You could find me each and every day over at our YouTube channel at Winners and Winers is the YouTube channel that we do. I do at least 2 shows every day. I do a show with my partner Scott Reichel every day called Today in Sports Betting, where we take a look at each and every game that gets our fans. I used to say each and every game, but now that college basketball has started, we don't do every game, but we do the ones that we like, the big games on the card. And then I do my own daily pick. They're my free play of the day. And, of course, make sure you stop by, check out winnersandwiners.com. If you haven't been there, it is a very, very cool site, very helpful for handicapping football games. And you can check me personally at Steamroller on Twitter and check out the Winners and Winers Twitter feed as well. I think that's it.
Sounds good. Of course, I've been Truman Steehn, the machine. You can find me over here at twitch.tv/Steam Machine. Again, we're in the 12 Days of Steammas. We're doing a lot of different things. Barbecue stream on Sunday, Steam Machine Open Challenge on Saturday. Last Monday we started another podcast called Grub Butts, where we eat new fast food items. We ate the McRib, and then we talked about weird news. And then I
watched that show. It was pretty good. It was pretty darn good.
It's pretty an interesting concept that we've talked about for a long time, and we always want an excuse to eat new fast food items and not feel bad about it. So, Grub Butts. Check it out. That one's on Spotify and Apple Podcast, along with That's True, a podcast I do on Tuesdays. You can also find me on Twitter at Steehn Machine. Or, if you want just sports betting content, CG Sports RWTM. I post the noon NFL parlay every week. And if you just want my picks, I post them onto www.rollingwithmachine.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe and, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. We're at the STM Network on YouTube. And I think that's it for me.
Let us know what you're playing. Tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Cole, I want to know if you're stepping out of there with your money and the Vikings. Are you backing the money with the Vikings with your cash or just with your heart?
I think it's just with your heart. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me to back the Chiefs with my money a lot of the time. And the 2 times that I've bet on the Chiefs game this year, I've lost. So one time I bet against them when I bet on the Ravens, and this time I bet for them, and they shit the bet against the Broncos. So I can't blame them.
By the way, I can't see you ask the question. Somebody wants to know: Are the Patriots good? No, they are not. I was taken in last night. I'm not going to lie. I took the Patriots in my play of the day last night. and Belichick magic. It's magic. No. The Patriots looked as shitty last night as they should have looked for the last month. They are not good. Get off the Patriots.
Right, and of course they've only had 5 passing touchdowns this year. Count them, 5. That's right, one hand. That's how many passing touchdowns the New England Patriots have had this year. In case you're wondering,
not good.
And don't worry, Cole assured you to never bet on the Minnesota Vikings.
Excellent call. Good call.
That'll do it for us here on Steehn vs. Machine. Scott, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thanks everybody for watching. Good luck on all your plays this weekend. Hope they all turn into hope all those tickets turned into cash money.
Alrighty. Hope to see you guys here next week. See ya.
Take care, buddy.